Coming up on Cronkite News tonight, emotional testimony at the Capitol as the House January 6th Select Committee held its first hearing.
Plus, as COVID-19 transmission rates rise, some are getting creative with sweet incentives to get people vaccinated.
And later on Break It Down, the teacher shortage in Arizona and what can be done to fix it.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Emily Carmen.
And I'm Peyton Watts. Thank you for joining us. This morning, the committee for the January 6th Capitol attack held its first hearing. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi appointed 9 lawmakers, including 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans, to the committee. Police officers from the U.S. Capitol and Washington, D.C.'s Metropolitan Police Department testified. Faith Abercrombie has more on the testimony and Republican process. Response.
4 police officers gave their testimony based on their experience from January 6th.
I remember thinking there was a very good chance I would be torn apart or shot to death with my own weapon. I thought of my 4 daughters who might lose their dad. I remain grateful that no member of Congress had to go through the violent assault that I experienced that day.
The testimony included video footage from that day and stories of violence the officers shared. Former President Donald Trump and some of his allies have tried to downplay the violence. Officers disagreed.
What we were suggested that day was like something from a medieval battle. We fought hand to hand, inch by inch, to prevent an invasion of the Capitol by a violent mob intent on subverting our democratic process.
Republican representatives, including Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz, held a news conference as the hearing was going on outside the Justice Department. Arizona Representative Paul Gosar called those arrested in the attacks political prisoners. Congressman Andy Biggs questioned how they are being treated as they await trial.
Some are reportedly being held in solitary confinement for no rational reason. So it leaves us to wonder, are their rights being protected? We've got to recognize there are due process rights for everyone.
Many spoke about the assault not just on officers, but on democracy on January 6th.
To the rioters, the insurrectionists, and the terrorists of that day, democracy went on that night and still continues to exist today. Democracy is bigger than any one person and any one party. You all tried to disrupt democracy that day, and you all failed.
In Phoenix, Faith Abercrombie, Cronkite News.
The committee has not set any additional hearings as of this morning. Committee Chairman Betty Thompson said that they could come back before the end of the August recess.
Republican leaders in the Arizona Senate issued a subpoena to Maricopa County supervisors asking for additional election materials as the audit of ballots continues. Senate President Karen Fann and Senate Judiciary Chairman Warren Peterson demanded more information about data breaches to the county's election systems and information about changes to the county's voter records. That on top of other things included in the subpoena. This new subpoena demands the material be produced by the supervisors at a 1 p.m. hearing on August 2nd at the state capitol.
This morning, the CDC updated its guidance and suggests some vaccinated people should continue to wear masks indoors. This decision reverses their statement from 2 months ago, saying fully vaccinated people did not have to mask up while inside. Those who should continue to wear masks indoors and in public situations are those who live in counties the CDC marked with substantial to high transmission rates. That accounts for about 44% of the country, but Arizona's rates are higher than the national average. More than half of Arizona's 15 counties have high transmission risks, and 5 counties are considered to have substantial risk.
While cases are going up, the number of vaccine doses given in Arizona is declining. As Isabella Fredrickson reports, one group got together this weekend to offer incentives for people to roll up their sleeves.
What pairs nicely with a donut? A cup of coffee and a shot of the COVID vaccine. Over the weekend, Legislative District 28 interns organized a COVID vaccine pop-up where participants could receive their first shot with a complimentary Krispy Kreme donut.
We have the Pfizer vaccine. Feels great coming out here. It's really good to give vaccines to everybody. Yeah.
Halfway through the event, several came in to receive their very first dose.
It's so important to have events like this in our community, and we're so grateful for St. Vincent de Paul and for volunteers that are coming out and making sure that people in our community have access to get the COVID-19 vaccine easily. Obviously, it's free. People need to know that they can just come in, get vaccinated, and keep themselves and our community safe.
If you don't get your vaccine, I recommend you do, because I mean, it's just, you know, if you have FOMO, you're missing out on something cool, you know.
Legislative District 28 partnered with Pleasant Pediatrics to administer the vaccines. Nearly 52% of Arizonans have been fully vaccinated against COVID, according to the Arizona Department of Health. In Phoenix, Isabella Fredrickson, Cronkite News.
At this event, 9 people in need were able to get their first dose of the Pfizer vaccine. Volunteers then worked with each individual to help them set up their second dose as well.
Coming up next on Cronkite News, Vice President Kamala Harris met with Native American leaders about voting rights. Up next, we'll hear from the Arizona activist who was part of the discussion.
And later on the Cronkite Sports Report, the Arizona Coyotes added to their future of their franchise in the NHL Draft. We have the details on the top picks for the team.
Every day I wake up, my first thought is, how can I serve this community?
The biggest hurdle was not taking PTSD personally.
Would you welcome, please, the amazing.
Everybody that watches this, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
It's prime time on your time. Watch Prime Afternoons every weekday on Arizona PBS. Did you miss a show in the evening? Then catch up on Prime Afternoons, your favorite dramas.
No more bloody heroics.
Antiques Roadshow.
Really?
Nature and Nova.
It's time to reintroduce some wonder into this miracle of nature.
All of the best from PBS on Prime Afternoons. Weekdays starting at 1:30, only on Arizona PBS. Take a journey with Arizona PBS. Join us every Sunday afternoon for Destination Drama. Watch all your favorite PBS dramas like Grantchester.
I'm William Davenport, new vicar of Grantchester.
Poldark.
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
And Victoria.
I know that I'm young, but I know my duty.
And if you missed a recent primetime drama, we'll help you catch up on those too. Destination Drama. Every Sunday afternoon at 1. Only on Arizona PBS.
Cronkite News is more than your local news station. Through our innovative ideas, we create new ways to connect with our viewers and have their stories be heard. Our cutting-edge technology allows us to take a deeper dive into seeking the truth and delivering new perspectives. Stay up to date on top Arizona stories anytime on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Cronkite News.
Vice President Kamala Harris met today in her ceremonial office to discuss voting rights with Native American community leaders. One community leader is Allie Young, a citizen of the Dene Nation. She met with the Vice President and other leaders to discuss voting rights. Harris wanted to hear about the experiences and thank them for their work. Young is a writer and activist on a mission to increase representation of Native Americans in TV, film, and the mainstream media.
Hurtful. And honestly, what we did see were Westerns where we were called savages and we were beaten. And I remember feeling, very, very hurt and even ashamed to be who I was. Growing up in a border town just outside the Navajo Nation, it was extremely difficult, and that media misrepresentation of my people, that contributed to the ways that my non-Native friends looked at me.
Recently, Young has also founded a program called Protect the Sacred that focuses on educating and empowering the next generation of Native American leaders. The program also works to increase Indigenous voices and stories within popular culture. She is also developing creative projects, one of which she has pitched to Netflix and Amazon Studios.
We are back in the triple digits this week with sunny skies across the valley. Let's head on over to Isabella Fredrickson in the Weather Center for the forecast.
Taking a look at our futurecast for today, we are seeing rain and wind movements all across the state. It is monsoon season, so this is expected. Moving on to our high temperatures for the state tomorrow, it is looking pretty hot here. Phoenix is going to be 105 degrees, and we are up to 110-degree temperatures, both in Bullhead City and in Yuma. However, taking a look at the eastern side of the state, the temperatures are going to be cooler. We're looking at just high 80s to 90s. For example, over in Holbrook, it's only 92 degrees. The coldest for tomorrow is going to be up north in Flagstaff at only 76 degrees. Moving on to our evening planner, it will be a little warm, but come 8 p.m. we are going to drop below 100 degrees. The rest of the day we are seeing some clouds. And finally, taking a look at our 8-day forecast, while it will remain in the triple digits, once we hit Saturday, we are dropping to only 96 degrees. And as you can see, there's going to be a lot of clouds and some potential storms all throughout the weekend. As we enter this next week, however, the sun is going to come back and we are going to get warmer in temperatures. But pay attention to this weather this weekend as we may see a storm or two. Isabella Fredrickson in the Weather Center.
I'm Erin Slinney, and coming up after the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report. We'll show you what the Coyotes are doing to keep the ice fresh for the upcoming season.
Every day I wake up, my first thought is, how can I serve this community?
The biggest hurdle was not taking PTSD personally.
Would you welcome, please, the amazing.
Everybody that watches this, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
It's prime time on your time. Watch Prime Afternoons every weekday on Arizona PBS. Did you miss a show in the evening? Then catch up on Prime Afternoons, your favorite dramas.
No more bloody heroics.
Antiques Roadshow.
Really?
Nature and Nova.
It's time to reintroduce some wonder into this miracle of nature.
All of the best from PBS on Prime Afternoons. Weekdays starting at 1:30, only on Arizona PBS. Take a journey with Arizona PBS. Join us every Sunday afternoon for Destination Drama. Watch all your favorite PBS dramas like Grantchester.
I'm William Davenport, new vicar of Grantchester.
Poldark.
Nothing in my life has meaning without you.
And Victoria.
I know that I'm young, but I know my duty.
And if you missed a recent primetime drama, we'll help you catch up on those too. Destination Drama. Every Sunday afternoon at 1. Only on Arizona PBS.
Cronkite News is more than your local news station. Through our innovative ideas, we create new ways to connect with our viewers and have their stories be heard. Our cutting-edge technology allows us to take a deeper dive into seeking the truth and delivering new perspectives. Stay up to date on top Arizona stories anytime on TikTok, Twitter, and Facebook at Cronkite News.
Welcome back to Cronkite News. I'm Erin Slinney, and this is your Cronkite Sports Report. The Coyotes look to add to the future of their franchise in the 2021 NHL Draft. The team traded into the first round to select Dylan Guenther with the number 9 overall pick in the draft. The trade wasn't the only thing causing some noise for the organization, as they selected Josh Doan, the son of longtime Coyotes wing Shane Doan, with a 37th overall pick. And here's a look at a couple of other top picks for the franchise. And while the Arizona Coyotes missed the playoffs last season, they are working to improve the team for next year. They even welcomed 2 additional new members to the organization. Even though they'll pick up plenty of time on the ice, the two may never see the puck. Cronkite News reporter Zach Keenan sat down with the man responsible for the new signings.
These zambonis are fresh. No, really, they're brand new.
Meet the two newest members of the Arizona Coyotes, George and Fries, named after their sponsors.
Our older machines were as old as the building. So we were running with machines that were, 17 years old. They're still operational and they're reliable, but, as older things get, things break on them. It just happens.
There is an investment strategy and there is a vision to acquire the resources we need to be a winning organization, Coyotes president and CEO Javier Gutierrez said. To me, the purchase of these high-end machines really underscores that. Schuler highlighted two new technologies, the fast ice system,
as opposed to a pipe that just lays water and is smoothed out by a cloth towel. We have two booms of sprayers that push water out of the sprayers.
And the laser level system.
We got a piece on the machine, a piece we put in the stands, and they talk to each other. And it basically sets a laser level plane, and we can adjust how thick we want our ice to be, and it will automatically move our blade for us to make a consistently thick sheet of ice.
So, why does this matter?
Main advantage to that over the pipe is that you're getting less gases, mainly air, in your water or in your ice.
But if you didn't come for a science lesson, is there any chance that these machines can help the team play better?
Better quality ice, obviously, is the goal, and I think we're getting that out of the new machines. In turn, better quality lets the players show off their skill set more. So if we are, in fact, a better talented team, then it should be to our benefit, yes.
Better ice equals better hockey. In Glendale, Zach Keenan, Cronkite News.
You might be able to catch George and Fries at a game this fall when the Coyote season kicks off in October. And a quick update on the Olympics. University of Arizona diver Delaney Schnell and her partner Jessica Parado won silver medals in the women's synchronized 10-meter platform yesterday. And that's it for your Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Emily and Peyton.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight.
Thank you for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.